Hi everyone, this is Josh Tesla and you're watching my professional development session on Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. And I've picked out 3 concepts that I found were either tied to personal experiences of mine or useful in a school setting. The first one is getting the right people on the bus. And the next 2 are related to each other but can also be separate. They are Level 5 leadership and culture of discipline. The first concept of getting the right people on the bus is introduced by comparing David Maxwell's new position as CEO of Fannie Mae in 1981 to a bus ride. And the idea of the bus ride is to get the right people in the right seats before you start your trip. When Maxwell took over Fannie Mae, his company was losing $1 million a day. When his peers asked him what was he going to do, Maxwell said that who is more important than what. He was implying the concept that having a good team is the first step to a successful business. And this is why 14 out of 25 of his executives were asked to get off of his bus. And by using this concept, Fannie Mae went from losing $1 million a day to making $4 million a day. The idea of who instead of where starts with getting the right people on the bus, followed by taking the wrong people off the bus, and then finally putting the right people into the right seats. After you decide that who you're going with is more important than where to go, you have to determine how to get the right people. And John Maxwell uses 5 principles and criteria to help make those decisions. They are sharing core values, managing, exceptional capabilities, job versus responsibility, and hiring. And we'll take a look at each of those and talk about what each of them mean. The first one is sharing core values, which is important because without them, it's difficult to steer the bus in the direction you want it to go. The bus riders should share the same core values that you have. And because you can't force people to share your values, it's important to find people that already share them with you. The second step to finding the right people to put on the bus is finding someone that you don't need to manage. And Maxwell explains that the moment you need to manage somebody, you probably made a hiring mistake. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot teach or guide an employee, but you shouldn't have to compensate for them. The third step is finding someone with exceptional capabilities to fill key positions. This doesn't mean that they are the best, but they could eventually be the best. Meaning, in the seat that they hold, do they have the potential? The next criteria is finding someone that understands the difference between a job and a responsibility. To define the difference, Collins uses an air traffic controller's responsibilities. He says that if you were an air traffic controller and you did all the right things, but the plane still crashed, would it be acceptable to you? And the right person on the bus would answer no to this. And this is because when this person sees a problem or a hole, they don't sit back, but instead they fix it. The final principle to putting the right people in the right seats is more of a question. And Collins asks, if you were doing the hiring process all over again and you knew everything about the person, would you still hire them? And there is no yes or no answer to this question, but it is suggested that you always be fair. And you can be fair by asking yourself if you have a bus problem or do you have a seat problem. This is because you could have the right person on the bus, but you made a managing mistake by putting that person in the wrong seat. So when you're not sure about an employee, always be fair. So now we're going to move on and take a quick look at who your top leaders are, which is Level 5 leadership, and how they got there, which is usually related to their culture of discipline. Collins uses 5 different levels of leadership with executives at the top. And these leaders are at the top because they put the cause, the organization, and work before themselves. These traits allow them to have a blend of personal humility and professional will, which the other levels lack. And because they lack something, they are not considered whatever it takes kind of people. The whatever it takes kind of people have a culture of discipline. This means that regardless of the incentive system or perks they receive for doing well, they will do the right thing and the best job they can solely because it's the type of person they are. They don't need more money or recognition to do a better job. This style of leadership was outlined in the last book I read, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, with the story of Dick Winters during World War II. And if you've seen the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers, which is about Easy Company and their time in Europe, you know who I'm talking about. During the span of his military career, Winters rose from platoon leader to company commander and then battalion officer and finished as a general. And although Easy Company had a number of other commanders, Dick Winters is the one who made his way to being general. And this is because he was the type of person, a level 5 leader with a culture of discipline that produced results regardless of his title or role. And given the responsibilities of his duties, Winters didn't succeed because he was paid more, but because it was fundamentally who he was. And if you're asking yourself why other leaders didn't make it as far as he did, it's because the wrong people can't be motivated to do the right thing. And level 5 leaders, such as Dick Winters, always did the right thing.